Hi, this is Paul Spica with Spica Real Estate, and you're watching our first time home buyer video series. And this is our final video titled The Date of Possession. In the last video, we talked about the actual closing, and congratulations, you have purchased your new home, and it's a very exciting time. In the state of Michigan, we handle the date of closing and the date of possession a little bit differently than they do in many other states. In the state of Michigan, it is possible that the date of closing is different than the date of possession, meaning that at the closing you might not actually get the keys for your new home. If in the purchase agreement you negotiated to allow the sellers to stay in the home after the closing, then the date of possession is going to be a later date than the date of closing. The possession date should always be very, very clearly identified in the purchase agreement, down to the hour. There should also be some form of a penalty if the seller is not out by that date. We want to make sure that the seller has every incentive to be out, because during that time period, the seller is effectively your tenant. And it's a very short time period. The purchase agreement will spell out who pays for what during that time period, who insures what for that time period, but they are ultimately a tenant, and there needs to be a penalty if they are not out by that specific time or date. It's also not uncommon for a buyer to require a seller to pay rent during that time period. Let's say it's for 10 days. The buyer just purchased the home, and they will be paying taxes, and they will be paying their mortgage on that home that they can't live in. So it's not uncommon for a buyer to say, hey, I'm paying taxes, I'm paying a mortgage, I want you to pay me $50, I want you to pay me $100 every single day that you're there. That also can act as a bit of a motivator to get the seller out sooner. On the date of possession, the home needs to be provided by the sellers in what we call broom swept condition, meaning that everything needs to be cleaned. It doesn't need to be spotless, it doesn't need to be professionally cleaned, but it can't have trash everywhere, it can't be damaged. The property needs to be in the same condition that it was at closing, and it needs to be really in the same condition at closing as it was during inspection. So it's up to the seller to maintain the property during the time of possession. And again, the purchase agreement will spell this out, but as a seller, you are responsible for any repairs or any replacements or any maintenance that needs to happen during that time period. It's not uncommon for a seller to be out of the home prior to the date of possession. If they have 10 days and they know they're going to have 10 days, they're likely packing ahead of time. It's possible they'll be out on day 7 or day 8. But I always encourage buyers, plan on day 10. Don't plan on anything ahead of time. Make your arrangements for the 10th day and maybe even the 11th day, just in case something happens. Ask your agent to help coordinate the key exchange. Personally, we like to handle that for our clients and make sure that that's a very smooth transition, make sure the house is actually in the condition that it's supposed to be in. We always advise buyers to have all of the locks rekeyed. You just never know, even if you get a whole bunch of keys, you never know who has copies of those keys. And it's just good common practice to rekey every lock of your new home. After that, congratulations, you've moved in, you're going to be living out of boxes for a while. Take your time unpacking, enjoy the process, and ultimately enjoy your new home. And remember to give us a call when you're ready to sell, or if you know of anybody who's buying or selling. Thanks for watching the video series. My name is Paul Spica with Spica Real Estate. We're here to help if you have any questions or when you're ready to buy or sell. Thanks for watching.